Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And over the last 24 hours, a couple of very important things have happened. But more importantly, in the next 24 hours, a couple of very important things are happening. So make sure you watch this all the way through. It's going to be a very important video. Having said that, to not waste anybody's time, one of the most important things that happened over the last 24 hours by far is this right here. Google accepting crypto. Yes, guys, it is not a joke. It is not something that I'm baiting with here. It literally happened. Google just said that they will be using Coinbase to bring crypto payments to their cloud services. So even though this is not for everything just quite yet, you got to understand it. Google is now accepting crypto for some of its services. In my own opinion, it is only a matter of time before it's going to branch out and be everywhere. Google says that early next year, users will be able to pay for cloud services using crypto like Bitcoin and Ether via Coinbase, as obviously it takes a little bit of time to set in and arrange properly, but they have now officially announced that this is going to be happening, and this is huge. Guys, I have so much to say about this Google partnership and the crypto prices, which is, guys, why, if you're a trader, make sure you watch this video all the way through. But even if you're just here for the news, watch this video all the way through. I have a couple of very important bits of info that I'm gonna share throughout this video, so make sure you watch it all the way through. And let's try to get to 500 likes on this video. That would be amazing, because we've not hit that in a little while. Having said that, one of the other very important things that happened is a $100 million DeFi exploit. You can read it right here. DeFi exploit drains mango markets of $100 million. It's really starting to get crazy in the DeFi markets with the amount of exploits found. And a couple of smart people have said, if there's an exploit, it's gonna be exploited. So even though I'm a very big fan of DeFi, I am always telling you guys to be very careful. Now, there is a DEX that I'm using right now myself that I'm gonna share a little bit further in this video that I've actually started to get really involved with and use for nearly all my main trades, but I'll talk about that as we get a little bit further into this video. The long story short is the Mango governance token was valued for far more than it should be. With that, the attacker was able to take out large loans against it and drain Mango's liquidity pools. It's like a lending-borrowing race. If you have overvalued collateral, you can then borrow against that collateral, and that's what they did. So if you're looking for one little key sentence, it's Oracle price manipulation. After that, we have a couple of other juicy pieces of news. Grayscale is going absolutely wild, and they're blasting the SEC for basically not giving them a fair chance at their Bitcoin products. To quote, crypto's Grayscale blasts the SEC over special harshness towards Bitcoin trading. And nobody seems to really understand why the SEC is doing this. They don't really give a very good explanation for it either, which is why Grayscale has kind of had enough. And for all my altcoin fans out there, there was something very interesting happening to VeChain. VeChain confirms huge plan to expand to Europe and worldwide. Will the VeChain price moon? Honestly, guys, I am very excited about VeChain for the long term. On the short term, there was this very big lack in department in terms of that they had no crazy announcements for short term. They're more of a long-term focused project, which I think will succeed like crazy. But then this huge expansion program came out that is just absolutely phenomenal, huge and hugely bullish for VeChain. Now, that was it on the mostly news front. There's so much happening that I can't fit it all into one video. There's just absolutely crazy amounts of news, even regarding XRP and a lot of other altcoins as well. But now we have to talk about the crypto prices, because things are not acting the way it should be. Think about it for a second. Google accepting crypto payments. They literally said, hey, this crypto stuff is here to stay. We're fine with accepting it. Yet Bitcoin goes down below $19,000. Now, I am no scientist, all right? But I know one freaking misalignment when I see one. The price of Bitcoin should have gone up with this announcement, except for three maybe main scenarios. One is the stuff that's happening tomorrow, which I'll share with you guys in just a second, overcouples it all and people are too fearful. Two, the majority of traders in the market already knew Google was going to make this announcement. And three, well, we've had Apple CEO being pretty bullish towards Bitcoin. I think he even holds Bitcoin. We've had the major asset managers in the world, BlackRock, helping their clients buy Bitcoin. We've had Google now accepting crypto. All these three things didn't really act bullish for Bitcoin, basically. Maybe it's just plain price manipulation and these major behemoths They want to stall their announcements, but they're making them now, but in a low fashion to make sure the price stays low, and they're making sure that the price stays low so their clients can get in and whatnot. It's hard to say, but those are my only three main scenarios. But before I explain what's so important about tomorrow and what trades I'm considering making, I want to share with you guys one of my favorite DEXs right now, as I noticed a lot of you guys are not so aware of what DEXs to use. This one specifically is on the BNB chain, which is the chain I use most often for trading, as the fees are obviously lower. And honestly, when you're in the DeFi space, when you're looking for a good decentralized exchange, you look for low fees. And as you guys can see, these guys have a 0.2% fee, which is ridiculously low. Now, I've mentioned it already once in a video, but if you have a community of your own or you have a lot of friends, you can actually potentially make a lot of money as well off of DEXs or exchanges through their referral programs. This might be something you want to take a look at, but even if you don't and you already have some sort of money, a lot of DeFi protocols, if you find the right ones that are not so sketchy, have some crazy percentages in terms of APY here. You can see they have a couple of different launch pools, but even in the earn section right here, 36% APY on their native token paired with USDT. That is absolutely wild. It can get even higher when you pair it with BNB or BFG. It's just huge. Honestly, there's actually quite a couple of different things you can do in terms of getting yield. And by the way, Biswap, their token is also listed on Binance if you're wondering. But if you want, you can actually stake it over here for some pretty huge returns as well. It's pretty nice. Now, they also have an official multi-reward pool where you can earn a lot of different currencies. So BUSD, wrapped BNB, Biswap token, and BFG. And look at this. There's even for XRP to wrap BNB. A nice bonus. It's pretty cool. Also, right now they have two very cool things going on. As you can see right here, a 10 million global incentive program. They basically gave out a big $10 million fund for projects on the BNB chain, as you can read right there. And that means that right now you can get up to 100% fee reimbursement. And they just got themselves a couple of very nice actions. And as far as I know, they keep doing this every single month. They have cool new actions going on, which honestly, I met them all over at the Binance Blockchain Week in Paris. Nice people, and honestly, I think they're gonna change the game with how they're trying to incentivize people to come on. Another nice thing which they're doing, you can read right here, head to the Biswap Global Hike Challenge on Twitter, make some pigs and share, and win $1,500 in BSW. Apparently they have $1,500 to set aside to give to 50 different people. Over the next couple of days, you have a couple more days to enter. And all you have to do is take a picture of their DEX or their merge with a nice view behind it, which I think is pretty cool as well. Kind of makes me think, how do you do that? You know, take a picture of your phone with your phone if you're, trading on your phone. But no matter. If you're interested, make sure you check out the link down below. And with the link down below, you can actually get a 50% fee return as well. With the already low fees, that's just absolutely nice. That's the cheapest you're going to find anywhere, I think. In terms of what's happening tomorrow, you guys need to be made aware of this. I've actually already said it, I think, once or twice, but tomorrow the inflation numbers in the US are going to be coming out. Right now, the expectation is basically around 8.2%, with the previous inflation being 8.3% over in September. Once these numbers come out, it is most likely going to get absolutely volatile. And to be honest, most people I've spoken to have said that Bitcoin will most likely break down. Right now, it is trading roughly at $19,000, and we're hoping for a crazy break towards the upside. Because honestly, with all this positive news, that would be expected. But on the short term, we've also just had a negative MACD cross. To combat that though, we actually are back with the RSI at oversold territory, and the fact that we're still below the 200 weekly moving average, to me, seems as if tomorrow, or any day really here over the next, I guess, time period until we're above the 200 weekly moving average, is still a good time to buy. Are we talking about a quick trade? Then tomorrow is going to be absolutely savage. Most likely it'll be like this. Actually, we have FOMC minutes in the evening as well, coming out at 10 p.m. This also might be something you want to watch, as you're basically going to get an introduction to a lot of different things. This FOMC minutes usually has some nice information. You'll most likely see some tweets about this coming by later. But heading over into tomorrow, the forecast is 8.2%. I would say anything below the 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, just really below, is most likely going to be pretty bullish. And it's quite logical, people are really stressed out over all this inflation. The lower the number looks, the better the economy seems to be recovering after all those rate hikes. The fire alarm is going off. It's about the 5th time today. I guess I'm still gonna have to stand up, right? Just as I was going all the way out to try and save myself, they fixed it, I guess. To come back on it though, people are very scared of this inflation, right? The lower the number is, the more likely people are to think of it as a good thing, albeit that this number, of course, is lagging. So whatever they do in terms of interest rate, it's a lagging indicator. But the same thing goes for the inflation rate. Whatever we're seeing is over the past year. And so if they're changing the interest rate now, it's not really having an effect in this very short period. It's mostly over a longer period of time. Psychologically though, people think of this differently. The lower the inflation goes now, the better these measures seem to have worked. And so generally speaking, that's bullish. The higher the inflation is, the more scared people are that we're going to have to go for some heavier rate hikes eventually coming out later the month. And that will basically mean, the higher the rate hikes, the higher the cost of capital, the less investments people do, the more negative GDP you're going to have. And generally speaking, combating inflation is just not a nice thing. You want this inflation to be a naturally, albeit incentivized by the government, middly low number, let's say averaging at around 2%. The higher it is, the worse, so to speak, because you're going to have to combat that to make things not too expensive for all the people. And the combating it is what gets your economy to kind of shrink and do bad, which is what people don't like. So that's logically deducing for the, price action as well. If the number is higher than, let's say, 8.2, people will most likely act negative, albeit that if it's around this 8.2 number, so let's say between 8 and 8.4, there's a very good chance we're going to be seeing some pump and dump situation like we've seen many times in the past. People have these crazy anticipations, and you must understand that tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people are going to be trading this event tomorrow. There's a very good chance that people are just going to act against the grain to try and make some money on it. And these are guys with a lot of capital. If you want to trade, there's a couple of links down below, but check out Biswap because honestly, I think it's a pretty cool place. But it's a DEX, so you're going to have to get used to it. It's something new, I know, but I personally be using it more and more and more, as you just need a good place on the Binance Smart Chain to transact and swap your tokens. But yeah, as I said, check it out. Tomorrow's going to be a major event. I might do a live stream of this if I get the opportunity, if my internet is good enough, because I also have a yacht party in the evening. Oh, the troubles. But we'll see if I can get that done. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you press the like button and maybe you've subscribed to the channel, who knows? And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today.